Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Fight Hub TV, powered by Stagefront VIP, and I'm joined now with George Groves. George, this is very nostalgic being back here, because the very first time I ever covered a UK boxing event, it was your event with Crawford, and you guys were doing your media workout right here.
Yes, I didn't know it was your first time over here in the UK, so that's I mean, it was hopefully a worthwhile reason to come over. But yeah, no, it was brilliant. I loved it. A public workout, you know, in a shopping centre sounds very sort of German 90s boxing, but it worked really well this time. Westwood hadn't been around that long. It's a great hub to get people into, and yeah, to fill up the atrium. I think we had 3 floors at the time. There was people up there outside Nando's, outside the cinema, waiting to get a view of hitting pads and whatnot. So no, it was brilliant.
Do you miss it?
No, not one bit. No.
Good for you. That's when you know you've walked away at a good time.
I think so. I mean, I retired at 30 with hopefully a little bit more to give, and without too many miles on the clock. And now I'm fortunate enough that I get to dip my toe into the boxing world. I'm covering the fight this weekend for BBC 5 Live, and I sort of get my boxing fix that way. So. Don't need to get punched in the face for a living anymore, which is always a bonus.
You know, I've always said that you kind of have to be a type of person that has a little bit of your screws loose to get in the ring and get punched in the face for a living.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've been doing it since I was boxing since I was 10 years old. You know, combat sports since I was 7 years old. So maybe I just didn't know no different. It was like the absolute norm to me. So yeah, that bizarre. It took me. I was way into adulthood before I realised the concept that it was bizarre to people, the thought of getting punched in the face. Whereas I don't know anything different. So maybe that means a couple of screws loose. But then people are always the most fascinating.
It's absolutely fascinating. Would you ever let your kids box?
Ideally not. Yeah. Ideally not. Spending a lot of money on their education, so they don't need to get punched in the face, as I say. I'd love them to be sporty, competitive, disciplined, all the things that boxing can deliver for you. I want them to have that, but ideally without falling down the route of becoming a fighter. Fighters' kids end up becoming fighters, and then promoters' kids, like Eddie Hearn over there, end up becoming promoters. Whether they work in TV and media, they end up doing the same. So sometimes it is like father, like kid, but ideally not. My 2 lads are bright, so they keep me on my toes. So if they can take that into a different avenue of profession when they get older, I'll be happy with that.
You never know, because they're still young.
Yeah.
Kids are always changing their minds. But anyways, it's great to see you here. I know it's been a long time since I've last seen you, but we're here. It's a different change of events. Was Joshua Whyte too? Now it's Joshua Helenius. Just what are your thoughts on overall with what's going on in boxing? We're starting to hear more and more about fighters failing drug tests.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I think there needs to be some sort of education rolled out for fighters, for their trainers, for the people involved in prepping them for fights, because either these fighters are doing it unconsciously because they're not clever enough to know just don't do it, or they think they're being clever and they're getting caught out. Could be either or, but it's not good for the sport. It's not good for any sport, obviously, and it only really it hurts boxing. You know, now if you ask the average person on the street who doesn't know a lot about boxing, they'll just assume that everyone is at it. Everyone in boxing must be cheating. I think there's boxers out there that assume that this fighter's winning, they must be cheating. And it's not the case. It's not the case, because as soon as you get to a level where they start testing you, these people get popped straight away. They get busted. And sure, you know, the sophistication of the drugs testing has to improve, and does improve with the ways that people are getting around it is improving. But there are sports out there, athletics, cycling, something like that, where you just assume if they're doing well, they're cheating. I don't want boxing to get to that stage. Maybe it already is at that stage, but it's not a first past the post sport. You know, if you are a cyclist or a sprinter or whatnot, is really clear margins of improvement. You know, you run faster or whatnot, you swim faster. Whereas boxing, there's so many other variables that getting that extra % or 2 from something illegal, sure, it adds, but it doesn't mean the difference between winning and losing. So, and also you've got the added element of you could kill someone, you could hurt someone. I've done that. I've hurt someone in a fight, caused irreversible damage, you know, and it stays with you. It'll haunt you forever. It's not what you get into boxing for. So to have that on your conscience as well, if you're not a clean fighter, I think it's awful. But I think more investment in educating people and fighters so that there's no accidental failed tests.
Do you feel that a lot of the pressure is coming from fighters who are clean, and then they know that others aren't, and it's harder to keep up with those who are doing it secretly to keep yourself clean because you're not getting a fair advantage?
No, I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying, because I think boxing, there's so many other variables. It's not just literally who can run the fastest or who can punch the hardest. You know, there's you need every set of energy system firing all cylinders. You need to be a smart fighter. You need to have got everything perfectly right, your nutrition right. Now, of course, if you're cheating and you're doping, then you're going to help and improve yourself in all aspects. But you don't necessarily need to be doping because the guy is doping. I have suspicions about people I've fought, amateur and pro, but only suspicions. I still beat all of them. So I'm like, well, you know. You still can do the job, and ultimately, boxing for me is still a noble art. It's still a gentleman's sport. It's still a sport about skill. It's not about brutality and stuff like that. And the gentlemanly, I know I don't want to be too gender specific there. I'm trying to think of a better word than that. But you know, the good faith, the sportsmanship is still there for me. And ultimately, it's 1v1. Go into the arena and do battle. And everyone loves a hero. You know, we watch Hollywood, and you got to do it with integrity.
We are one of the good things that's happening currently now in boxing, obviously, is we're getting a lot of more undisputed champions, which is something we hadn't seen much of in the last, I think, really only up until maybe 2 years-ish ago. But I wanted to ask you about Canelo versus Jermell Charlo and what your thoughts were on him taking such a leap in order to face Canelo.
Yeah, I mean, your initial reaction is, well, he's too small, he can't beat Alvarez. Has been up at super middleweight long enough now. He's obviously fought at light heavyweight and come back down solid super middleweight and cleaned up the division. It wasn't, you know, some of the wins were not flattering, but I feel like Callum Swift, for example, took the fight late, didn't look right, looked flat, maybe crashed away. Billy Joe Saunders hadn't done nothing at super middleweight, career middleweight, moved up. Caleb Plant, disappointing for me, but still Canelo's got there and done the job, won and won well. You'd assume he'd be too big and too good for Charlo with his size and his ability, but you know, I spoke with John Ryder, and John Ryder says that he thinks, not that Canelo's on the slide, but you know, his best days are over, and maybe it's a time where styles make fights. You're looking at a guy and you think, I've got the attributes to beat him, and probably the more that I sit and study him, the more that I make this a more even fight. There must be a reason why this Charlo brother is getting the shot and not, you know, middleweight Charlo, who you're thinking, right, that makes a little bit more sense.
Jermall wasn't prepared, he said.
Right.
So,
yeah,
but still, nonetheless, I mean, what a leap.
Yeah, what a leap. But I mean, that's what boxing's about sometimes, because you want to do sort of career-defining, history-making sort of fights, and sometimes that means you have to jump up a division or fight this guy, fight that guy, and I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a mega fight. Canelo always brings the heat, brings the action. He's never in a dull fight. So how is he going to deal with Charlo, who's naturally probably, he's been boxed, he's a huge light middleweight, but been boxed at a lighter weight. Fast, strong, skillful. I'm looking forward to it.
Another pair moving up in weight is more than likely going to be Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford in their rematch. Just your thoughts on how the fight went down, but also Terence Crawford saying that he's actually quite open to a catch weight against Canelo at 158. And if you think is that stretching it too much?
Maybe. I mean, Crawford is. I think off the back of the performance against Spence last week, pound for pound number one. I'd go with that. Obviously, we had a new A out the week before, but it's not his fault. But the smaller weights is not the same. They don't have the same level of talent in the division. Crawford just amazing performance. I think it looked like Spence aged that night. You know, don't want to be harsh on him. I think he must have been buzzed and concussed, but just afterwards, just felt like he was moving a bit slower. The way he was talking sounded a bit older. Tight of the weight, super tight of the weight, I'd imagine. So maybe moving up might make a difference.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.